It's the day we have been waiting for almost a year. It's the day of the final of the Eurovision Song Contest 2018, and I will look forward one last time with our chief editor, Steef van Gorkum. Steef, yeah, let's kick off straight away. Who will win tonight?
Oh, it's such a difficult...
Easy question to begin with.
It's such a difficult one to call this year. Like, we've seen Cyprus coming up all throughout the 2 weeks, and despite the fact that they've had great rehearsals, great staging, Sasha Jean-Baptiste overdone herself one last time, I still struggle to see its jury potential. You can also see that if people go to ESCDaily.com and read our analysis of the jury show last night. I'm not sure that it's a winner there. It might win the televote. Israel still in with a chance according to bookmakers as well, and then a whole bunch of outsiders.
Including 2 countries that are in the Big Five. Over the last couple of years, the Big Five, except for United Kingdom perhaps, they have established themselves and proven that they can deliver.
Yes, they have, and I mean, every one of them has a different story. The story of the UK is, of course, well known. We know Spain is always a very much up and down country. They've had Pastora Soler a couple years later. They had Manel, and now they're up with a quite decent entry again, I would say. France has really had a couple of strong years. It went downhill after Angun, and now with their new head of delegation, they moved back up again. And the story of Germany is, of course, crazy too. Lena, from Lena to Cascada to, well, you name it. It would be great after a couple of last places / almost last places for Germany if Michael Schulte could really, pick it up again and get a top result for them.
For the people who follow our website, they are probably familiar with the theory or the editorial that you wrote about the amount of ballads in the competition and how that can influence the results. You specifically wrote about the influence on semi-final outcomings. What is the influence on the amount of ballads in a grand final?
Well, the influence is that if you have less than 40% ballads in a grand final, that is a prerequisite for a ballad to be able to win. If you look at the years from 2009 up until now, it has always been the case that if the number of ballads is below 40%, a ballad will win, probably because they are outnumbered and they stand out more. And when it's above 40%, a non-ballad wins. This year we have an extremely low amount of ballads in the final because most of them were eliminated in the semifinals. Think of second semifinal, for example, with Latvia, Montenegro, Russia, who are all out. So we have around 30% ballads only in this year's grand final. That is a very low amount of number, and it will increase the chances of outsiders such as Germany or maybe even Ireland, who are now up in the betting odds.
Does that surprise you? I mean, they're not just up. At some point, they were 3rd place in the winner market. I never saw that coming.
Ireland, no, I didn't see that coming either. Actually, I predicted it as a non-qualifier in the first semi-final. They've had a very harsh promo campaign, which I've been critical of at times. But at the same time, if you look at purely what they've done on stage, they've done a good job. Ryan's a good singer. The staging is very intimate, very cute, I would say. It's not as offensive as they made it out to be, and that's why it has jury potential as well.
Every year since we have attended the competition, and Australia was in it, they reached the top 10 in the grand final. Will they continue that streak?
It's going to be close, but they do have a chance, yes, especially considering the fact that Jessica Mauboy has been improving herself tremendously throughout this second week. I heard Blair Martin say, a fellow Australian journalist over at Sunday, I think, Jess needs a live audience. Well, was he right? Because the moment when the second week started and there was an audience in the arena, she started improving, and she uses that audience to get energy from it and to sing better as well. She had a good performance with the jury last night. Who knows? Maybe we can get another top 10 result.
It is the last preview. We've mentioned, I think, almost all candidates that are in there for the win. You mentioned Cyprus, Israel, Germany, France. One left that we have to name before the big night, and that's, of course, the former winner who returns this year, Alexander Rybak. How do you think he will do?
There's been a lot of debate this week about his jury/televote potential. And that's the thing that I still, even though he's drifting in all the bookmakers markets right now, that's the thing that still is somewhere at the back of my mind. A lot of people are convinced he has a big televote potential because of his appeal to any audience, basically, his friendly performing and all that kinds of stuff, and the fact that he is a very well-known artist in the Eastern Europe, let's say. And then again, the fact that he looks like a former winner, that he's confident, that he has a very slick performance, that he owns the stage, and that he's vocally solid, helped him with juries as well. So there's another half of the press center who say he has more jury potential than televoters. What if he gets both? Then he's still very dangerous.
Yeah, that's also the discussion we had to give people a view behind the screens. We had on the telephone, you were already here. I arrived on the second day of rehearsals and I was talking, no, I see it as a typical jury song because it's so friendly and he delivers. And you said, no, it's definitely a televote favorite. And indeed, what if both happens? And in the current contest, draw or the running order is not that important as it used to be.
No, it isn't. And he is in the first half. Already before he drew halves, I told you that because of the snoozy nature of the first half of the show, where those ballads that are in there are almost in all of them are in the first half, he will stand out because it's cheerful, it's up-tempo, it makes you laugh, and it's without any pretensions. There are no bigger stories behind it. It's just good fun.
I want to close it off with one last topic of this Eurovision, and that's which Nice song do you think will stand out most? You have like metal from Hungary, opera from Estonia, and it's so hard to predict what will be picked up, and because there are also chances that one of these very specific songs will end up pretty low.
You do, and that is very difficult to predict. Last year you had fewer of those. You had the Yodel song, of course, which back then I thought deserved more jury votes than it actually did because of the good vocal skills, but juries didn't like the niche nature of it, and so it relied only on televotes. Same could happen with Estonia this year. One of, well, maybe even the best singer in the competition, and still it might be that she ended up quite low with the juries last night. I personally love Hungary, but and I was very excited about it when I saw the first rehearsals in that group of semi-final songs. Now that it comes to the grand final, where there's much stronger competition, I'm not so sure if they can get to the left-hand side of the scoreboard anymore.
Okay, thank you, Steef. Enjoy the show tonight, and when the show is over and we have the results, and when we sit down after perhaps a shock, it could be, then we will be on Facebook in the press center, giving the first reactions.
Yeah, and I hope everyone who listens to this and everybody who follows ESCDaily will go to our Facebook page right after the show and ask their questions, because always after such a TV show that we've been waiting for so long, and then all of a sudden it's over and we are left at home with all our feelings and emotions and shock maybe. So the only thing that you can do is go online and talk about it. Talk about it with us if you want to, because you can ask us all of our questions and we will be in the press center to answer them for you.